The police found our car before sunrise, parked neatly at the side of the road with all four doors unlocked. But what frightened them most was that someone had placed our phones in a straight line across the dashboard before taking three of us into the woods. My name is Mia, and this happened when I was 17. I was traveling with my friends Chloe, Leah, and Sophie after a birthday gathering in a town about an hour from home. None of us had been drinking, and the plan was simple. Take the main road back, drop Sophie off first, and be home before midnight. The trouble started when roadworks forced us onto a diversion through the countryside. At first, we treated it like an adventure. The road was narrow, the rain was heavy enough to blur the windscreen, and our headlights caught only hedges, flooded ditches, and occasional signs leaning in the wind. We had music playing quietly, and Chloe kept joking that the route looked like the beginning of a horror film. About 20 minutes into the diversion, the engine lost power. The car shuddered twice, the dashboard lights flickered, and we rolled to a stop beside a line of trees. Leah tried restarting it, but the engine only made a dry clicking sound. There was no mobile signal. We checked all four phones. Nothing. Outside, the rain struck the roof so loudly that we had to raise our voices to hear one another. Beyond the glass, the road disappeared into darkness in both directions, and there was not a single house, streetlight, or passing vehicle anywhere nearby. We agreed to stay inside. Less than 10 minutes later, headlights appeared behind us. A dark estate car pulled over several meters back, and a man in a waterproof coat stepped out holding a torch. He looked to be in his 40s, clean-shaven, and completely ordinary. Instead of approaching quickly, he stopped several feet away from the driver's window and raised both hands where we could see them. "Everything all right?" he asked. Leah lowered the window only slightly and told him the car would not start. The man nodded, then looked toward the open bonnet release near her knees. "Probably the battery," he said. "I've got jump leads." His voice was calm and helpful, and he never tried to open the door or move closer than necessary. That made us trust him. He connected the leads, but the engine still would not start. After several attempts, he stepped back and said there was a farmhouse about half a mile away with a landline. We refused to leave the car. He did not argue. "That's sensible," he said. "I'll go there and call someone for you." Before leaving, he asked whether all four of us were together. The question seemed harmless at the time. We said yes. He drove away. 5 minutes later, Sophie noticed something lying beside the rear tire. It was a small black cable. When Leah opened the bonnet again, she realized the battery terminal had been loosened. The man had not failed to repair the car. He had made sure it could not start. That was the first twist. We locked every door and pushed our bags against the windows. Chloe began crying quietly, while Leah tried emergency calling again and again, but the screen kept showing no service. Then headlights appeared from the opposite direction. The same estate car returned. This time it stopped in front of us, blocking the road. The man stepped out without the torch. He walked toward us slowly and tapped once on Leah's window. "I spoke to the farmer," he said. "A recovery vehicle is coming." Nobody answered. He smiled slightly. Then he said, "You should keep the doors locked. There are dangerous people around here." He returned to his car and waited. For nearly 20 minutes, he sat with the engine running and the headlights shining directly through our windscreen. He did not threaten us. He did not touch the car. He simply watched. The silence became worse than shouting would have been because we could hear our own breathing, rainwater dripping through a damaged door seal, and Sophie repeatedly whispering that we should run. At 12:45, the man's headlights switched off. His car door opened. We could not see where he went. Several seconds later, something scraped along the passenger side of our car. Then another sound came from behind us. A hand touched the rear window. Chloe screamed, and we all turned at once. The man was crouched beside the boot. He held up a phone. It belonged to Sophie. She had left it charging in the pocket behind the passenger seat. The window was closed. The door was locked. There was no way he should have had it. Then Leah checked her own phone. It was gone too. So was mine. The only phone remaining was Chloe's, hidden inside her coat. The man had taken them earlier while pretending to connect the jump leads, reaching through the partially open window when our attention was on the engine. He had not come back to stop us calling for help. He had already prevented it. That was the second twist. Chloe's phone suddenly gained 1 bar of signal. She called emergency services and whispered our location while keeping the screen beneath her jacket. The operator told us not to leave the car and said officers were searching for the diversion route. The man returned to the driver's window and spoke quietly. "You called someone." None of us moved. He looked toward Chloe. "You should have used a different phone." He had been monitoring the devices through a portable signal detector in his car. Then he unlocked our driver's door. The key turned smoothly. Leah had left the spare key with the garage that serviced the car a month earlier. The man worked there. He had copied it. He opened the door and told us to step outside one at a time. Nobody screamed because his calmness made the situation feel even more controlled. He knew our names from the garage records, knew where we lived, and knew which route Leah would take home because her navigation history had been synced during a diagnostic check. The breakdown was not random. He had tampered with the battery days earlier and followed us until the car stopped. He chose the diversion because he knew the road had no signal. Before he could pull Leah from the seat, headlights appeared behind him. A lorry rounded the bend and sounded its horn. The man ran into the trees. Police arrived minutes later. They found his estate car abandoned farther down the road, along with our phones, copied keys, tools, restraints, and printed records from dozens of vehicles serviced at the same garage. He was arrested 2 days later at a relative's house. During the investigation, officers discovered photographs of other young women taken through windscreens, outside schools, and in supermarket car parks. Some had dates written beneath them. 3 of those women were already missing. He was convicted of attempted abduction, stalking, unlawful surveillance, theft, and offenses connected to several other victims. We were told he had problems. I still check beneath my bonnet before every journey, but that is not what frightens me most. What frightens me is remembering how relieved we felt when a polite stranger stopped to help. Sometimes the person who rescues you from the problem is the same person who created it.